Yeah. Are we live?
We are live.
So good evening, everyone, and welcome. This is Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us. This is our honest review section, where we like to talk about what we liked, what wasn't our favorite part of the game, and what we would change if given the opportunity. And this is going to be in regards to the game that we just did on our Spotlight session, which is One Deck Dungeon. Currently, they are live on Kickstarter with their standalone expansion, One Deck Dungeon Forest of Shadows, and this stream and all of this week's streams are sponsored by Asmati Games with One Deck Dungeon and Forest of Shadows. So, Anne, if you could shout that out in chat for everyone.
Absolutely.
So if you haven't done so already, check out our Spotlight. Super fun. We did 2 playthroughs. This is a co-op game, so...
We played only the base game.
Josh didn't win, I won.
We only played the base game. We did just the One Deck Dungeon. We didn't do the Forest of Shadows.
Correct.
So this is on just the base game itself.
Right, this is the review of the base game. But according to Chris, Forest of Shadows is going to have the same mechanics. They're adding a few things in, like the poison counters, but we're not going to be speaking on that just because we don't have
heroes.
And some new heroes. We don't have the hands-on
Just whole
experience.
standalone game.
Standalone expansion.
So
first up, what we liked about the game. So because I won, I'm going to go first.
okay, go for it.
What are you doing?
So I said something last stream that I don't like how...
Oh, okay.
She's just really creepy floating head.
Okay, so what I liked about the game, I really enjoyed the flavor of it. I mean, it's just a lighthearted dungeon crawl game. It's not too lighthearted though. It's not like a kiddie lighthearted style. It's just it's not overly, I don't know the best way to say that.
Overly complicated?
Yeah, it's not overly complicated. I enjoy the dice mechanics, and as Chris was saying before, the dice are just one randomizing aspect. They're not what controls the game, and I think that is something that definitely showed in our playthrough of the game, in our Spotlight.
Because we were doing a lot of weird stuff to make our numbers be what they were.
Yes.
Like, I'm going to do this, and then do this, then do this.
And the weird stuff is because of all the different strategic elements that are in the game. So each character has their own abilities and dice that they roll, and then each monster that you kill or each trap that you destroy gives you either plus
Powers
stats.
you up in some way.
Yeah, plus stats as an item, more abilities as hero skills, or experience so that you could level up and get slots for more...
Be able to carry more stuff.
Yeah, stuff. And then there's potions, and there's different potion options too. So what I really like about the game is there's a lot of variation strategically to what you can do, to how you want to play it. So you could have specialized characters. So if you're playing with 2 people... I was in the beginning focusing on the fighting aspect, and Josh was focusing on the magic aspect while we were lacking in the agility. But as we progressed on, I kind of went overkill on the fighting, and Josh kind of well-rounded himself. So it gives you an option to what you want to do there. So Josh, how about you?
I like the game. I backed the original Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big roguelike fan, and so this was something I backed.
Mm-hmm.
And I got this whenever this delivered. I don't know. It was 6 months ago, something like that. It's been a while. It's been sitting on my shelf, and I've been wanting to play it.
Mm-hmm.
But with the stream and everything else, I don't get to play anything on the side. So I was really excited just to play this today.
He did make a comment in our group chat that we had before that he was very excited to
play this. And I finally got to sit down and learn the game today and play it. And I had a lot of fun. Even though we lost horribly the first time.
Yeah, we lost really
And then we ran away from all the walls because we don't like walls.
Yeah.
Walls are...
But it was another point of what I liked about it is that it was very quick to pick up. As you saw, we had a rough first game, but I thought we absolutely killed it the second game.
Yeah,
because we were still picking up strategies as we were going, but we were able to start clobbering stuff. And
we started putting strategies together.
That was also the easiest dungeon
yes.
as well. So it's okay if we started clobbering stuff.
And flying things around, just all over. It's and Spotlight of One Deck Dungeon now.
Yes.
That's what it is. Other note is, so you can also play the solo. So I did like almost a full solo game, and I got pretty far in my solo game.
Oh, so he's saying that I was dragging him down.
No, just because when you play solo, your stats are a lot higher.
Right.
So, like, it's a little bit easier for you, and then you also get up to 2 dice.
Oh, okay.
And
So
I was playing
it
as
scales well between 1 and 2 players. Is
Yeah.
what you're saying.
I don't remember what I was playing as, but I was playing as something, and I was getting dice like crazy. The power dice, I was just like destroying everything.
So some more stuff that we usually comment on and is the art and layout of the game. And while you didn't play the game, Ed, you certainly did see the art, and you commented on it in our spotlight section.
Absolutely.
So I'd like for you to talk about this part, just because I know this is one of your passions about gaming.
So I talked a little bit about this during the mini interview with Chris toward the end. But we had discussed that it was an intentional decision that they made to have all of the heroes be women. And I thought that that was super, super cool. Where is this from? Oh, I didn't see this. I thought it was absolutely cool that it was a game where the decision was intentional to have all of the heroes be women. That was a nice change of pace for me. And what I enjoyed even more was the diversity of the women in the game. Now, I really didn't get a chance too much to see the existing, and may I?
Yeah, sure,
The
go for it.
existing heroes, but I was definitely checking out the Forest of Shadows expansion heroes, or at least the 4 that have currently been released. Oh yeah, this is really cool.
So I'd like to butt in here, and
Sure.
you said specifically on the spotlight section how what really impressed you is that, yes, it's all women characters. They're not the typical hypersexualized female characters. And I think that definitely showed to me, but not on a subconscious level, because until you pointed out that it was all women, I didn't notice.
Yeah.
So it wasn't glaring in the aspect of hypersexualization of the
Women.
female characters.
It was just people.
It's women. No, it's warriors.
Yeah.
It's just they happen to be women.
Yeah. Yeah, you see the paladin, you see the rogue, you see the archer, you don't see that they're all women because it's the typical garb for those character classes.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, the paladin looks like a paladin.
Yeah.
So I absolutely adore the art too. It's good art. It's definitely more of a cartoony style, but it's good art.
It's actually of the cartoony style that I like.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like a late 90s, early 2000s, Saturday morning sit down with your breakfast cereal
yeah, I can
cartoon.
See that.
I like
could
that
definitely
Nicole's
see
the
that.
rogue. She's as white as Nicole.
Yes.
The rogue?
The rogue looks like Nicole.
It does look like Nicole. And that brings me to another point with the rogue being as white as Nicole. There's a lot of diversity in the heroes. So you have 2 black women. You have the little blonde, pale-skinned girl. You have a female of some sort of Asian descent, or with typically characteristic of Asian descent. And then you've got the warrior. Now this was a card that, I'll just put it right in front of my face. How about that? That was of conversation for you and I, Matt, because you had mentioned, like, the warrior looks like a warrior, that the bigger, sometimes when people make large women characters,
They make them comically large women characters, like Olga, you know, something like that.
yeah, the girl is big, don't get me wrong, she's a warrior, but she looks like she could be like a bodybuilder. She's a sturdy woman, but she's still a woman. She doesn't have overly exaggerated breasts, but she's got a waist, and she doesn't have an ugly face. She's a woman. The new 4 heroes that are up are super awesome also. One small detail, if you guys are looking for it, that we saw the hunter, if you're looking closely, she's wearing a hijab. So I absolutely love, the Slayer has the natural afro. You see the paladin and the mage here, I believe the mage has her hair braided in the natural in the back, and the paladin has the dreads. The Slayer has the she's a lighter skinned person of some sort of African American descent with the afro. I absolutely love the diversity in this game. It could have been men or women, but he hit it on 2 points. You have the representation of females in a game, and you have the representation of diversity. And that's so cool in a game, especially like a dungeon crawler where you're kind of doing some sort of role playing, because when you want to put yourself in a game, when you want that immersive experience, you want a character that you can identify with.
Mm-hmm.
So this opens it up to having so many people having somebody to be like, hey, I can identify with that person, which makes the experience of an RPG that much better. So it's a dungeon crawler, but when you play games and you want it to be immersive, you're in the adventure. Those are my things. Also,
that other card that I handed you.
That other card that Matt handed me. This, my friends, is my favorite. This is a quick reference guide. I have a turn reference. I have a boss fight. Now, I did not play this game tonight, so I can't speak to how effective the quick reference guide is, but there is one. And it's sturdy. Like this. Points. Hooray. Thumbs up. I absolutely love it. Yeah.
Very good. Is there anything you want to talk about what you liked about the game?
One note is it does have a 4-player option.
Oh, really?
If you have 2 copies.
Oh, that's cool.
So you take 2 dungeon decks, you shuffle them up together. You deal at 8 doors, but you do them in pairs of 2. And then you flip them over, you have 2 encounters, and then you split up your team of 4 into 2 different parties.
So you Scooby-Doo it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's split up, gang.
You split the party, which you never do. But
Yeah.
that's what you do.
You have to.
So 2 people have to go fight a door.
And the other 2 are fighting a dragon or something.
Yeah.
A blob.
A blob.
The blob.
The blob is adorable.
Cute.
Anything else, Josh?
I think that's it for all the...
Okay, so let's take it away with what we necessarily didn't care for about the game. Didn't necessarily care for. And what we would change if given the opportunity. That's a tough question. I think I was going to go along the... Oh, yeah, you especially.
This is my biggest gripe.
They look nothing alike to me, so I can't speak to that. But for those of you that don't know, Josh is colorblind.
I'm colorblind. And the blue and they're called magenta, because it says it in the rule book.
Exactly.
So it's the Blue's Clues characters, blue and magenta.
It doesn't help with the purple tablecloth as a backdrop, and they're translucent, so that makes it really hard. If I was playing on
Honestly,
here, I can...
When you were holding them in your hand, too, you still had to ask me a few times to help you out with it. So it's a valid point.
They're a little bit difficult. Not impossible, but difficult. So that's seriously my biggest gripe with the game.
I want not necessarily the health markers, because they're heart-shaped.
Yeah.
The potions, if they were potion-shaped. That's the only thing I could really like.
What are they?
It's
the hearts were actually originally red cubes, I believe, and then they got upgraded to hearts.
Wooden hearts. So the hearts are little wooden hearts, which
With me, I gotta find it.
it's on the screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's okay with that. I'm okay with that. It wouldn't be bad. I would prefer if they were injection molded plastic or something. But
you're nerdy engineer, Sean.
yeah. I would have loved if the potion was at least a potion bottle shaped wooden pog, meeple, whatever you want to call it, token. That would just kind of mimic that. Just because it detracts a tiny bit.
That would make a cool stretch goal.
But it's not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things.
I don't have anything really... I had fun.
Yeah.
Very important question for the both of you.
I would definitely play this again.
You're supposed to let me ask the question.
I knew what you were going to say.
Would you not play this game again?
Would you? That's exactly what I was going to ask.
I would definitely play this game again. I have a feeling that Josh and I are going to be playing this game again, especially given the fact that it has a campaign style tracker to it.
Yeah,
and
so throw that in the...
that appeals to me a lot, just because... Oh, goodness.
Not that bad.
So it's got little tick marks that you fill out when you...
So every time you complete a floor, every time you level up, you get a checkbox, and every time you defeat a boss, you get 3 checkboxes.
Right. So you get stuff to it.
Yeah, that was really neat.
I really enjoy campaigning games, especially if it's not a huge campaign where you have to log every single thing. Like, this doesn't seem cumbersome in the slightest.
This is like a 45-minute, all right, we did it. Let's play again another week, and we got some more checkboxes.
Yeah. Josh, how about you?
That's it. That's all I have. I enjoyed this.
I didn't get to play the game, so I don't have enough to to talk about what I might change because I feel like the game deserves a chance all the time before I open my big mouth. I mean, I could tell
Was
you.
there anything glaring that seemed off to you while we played?
No, I mean, I know you said that there's a 4-player option. I would like to see some new rules to expand it to maybe the 3-player option because I'm salty sitting over here by myself.
Understandable.
But that's, I mean, that at face level, that's the only thing. Like, I would like to have seen an opportunity for me to be able to play with you guys too.
You have to play as the monsters and kill everyone.
That would be a great role for me. I want to play as the door and murder you all.
Another plus I'd like to point out. It's a nice compact box.
Yes.
It doesn't take up too much of your shelf space.
And there's no empty space. And I mean, there's like a little bit of empty space, but
Your
like
deck goes in half of it, and then all the dice go in the other half of it.
yeah,
That's
then-
not...
then your rules and like it's not. It was pretty much back when I got it. So I probably could maybe fit the expansion here, possibly.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
But no, it was cool. I'm happy.
Thumbs up. I like it.
Thumbs up.
So I think that's going to be the end of this stream, no?
Yeah, guys, make sure that you are heading over to the Forest of Shadows expansion for the One Deck Dungeon game Kickstarter. The Kickstarter is doing fabulous already, just like the original Kickstarter did. They are, as of this recording, at $96,000 with almost 2,000 backers. So 2,000 backers should tell you that this is a great game. All these people are going for the expansion.
And if you haven't done so already, please go back and watch our spotlight of the game
It
itself.
was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and you get to see 2 rounds there because the guys died the first time.
So big shout out again to Asmati Games with One Deck Dungeon and their Kickstarter currently going on, Forest of Shadows. Thank you all for joining us this evening. This has been another fantastic Twist Gaming presentation. Signing off, I'm Matt.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Ann. Guys, thank you so much for joining.
Just stop
yes.
recording.
Yeah, just stop recording.